everybody, and welcome to Weight Loss Wednesday. I'm Chef AJ, the author of The Secrets to Ultimate Weight Loss, and this is where I show you recipes that will help you achieve and maintain healthy, permanent, and sustainable weight loss. So today I'm going to show you how to make an absolutely delicious recipe using greens inspired by my dear friend Sharon McRae, who in Columbia, Maryland is not only a PCRM cooking instructor, but a health coach. And I'm going to put a link in the show notes to her blog in case you want to follow her or attend one of her conferences. I got an email from Suzette about the lip-smacking, mouth-watering kale recipe that I showed you once, and she said she loves it, but that she was going to college and she can't cook in her dorm room. Is there a recipe I can create with greens that she could do in her pressure cooker? And when I saw Sharon make this recipe every day for breakfast, this is her recipe. I just tweaked it a little bit to my preferences. I thought this is going to be perfect for you, Suzette. So we're going to start with kale because that's how you make Mediterranean kale. And I like to shred it. I don't like it, you know, when it comes, we're using, by the way, if you don't have a Trader Joe's near you, you'll have to substitute other ingredients in other amounts probably than the bag size, but this would be perfect. Everything is from Trader Joe's, which I love. I could not live somewhere without one. I'm using two 10-ounce bags. When Sharon originally made this recipe, it was one bag of the kale and one bag of the frozen artichoke hearts, and it was too much for me, too many artichokes. The ratio wasn't right. So I doubled the amount of kale that Sharon used and also doubled the amount of water. I'm using 1 cup of water in my 8-quart Instant Pot electric pressure cooker. Sharon only used a half. Actually, Sharon didn't even do this in a pressure cooker. She did it in her Salad Master core cooker, which is fine, but not everybody can afford Salad Master, so I wanted to convert it to a pressure cooker. So when you get the kale, it's cleaned, it's washed, it's organic, but the pieces are kind of big. So I like to shred it a little bit finer using my Cuisinart. So what I do, and half a bag fits in at a time, with the S-blade, I put in half a bag at a time. You can see these pieces are just too big, and it's not really enjoyable to me to have huge pieces of greens when I eat. That's why you need at least a 14-cup, what's this called, food processor. So we're just gonna very carefully turn it on. You don't want to turn it into pesto. And this way you can cut it as fine as you like. Now, if you'd like to do it by hand, you certainly can. I just like to use a machine whenever possible. Some brands of kale that you can buy in the store already are shredded nice and finely. So it's up to you. If you're doing it from the whole kale, of course you can cut it. So I have 2 10-ounce bags of the Tuscan kale. I just happen to like the Tuscan kale better than the curly kale. And you can see by shredding it, it takes up less room in the Instant Pot, and this is why I say you've got to get the 8-quart. But if you shred it, you might be able to fit both bags in the 6-quart. So 2 bags of organic Tuscan kale, 1 bag of frozen artichoke hearts with absolutely no SOS on them. You get this in the freezer section, and you could actually cut these smaller if you like them smaller, because then they disperse more. I probably should have defrosted them if I was going to do that. And then a 3-ounce bag of salt-free, oil-free, sun-dried tomatoes. This is probably about 3/4 of a cup if you don't have a Trader Joe's. And that's almost all the ingredients. Then some garlic. This is one of those little bags from Trader Joe's that holds about 1 ounce of peeled garlic. And what I like to do is use this little cool machine. You can find a link for it in my Amazon store, or you can just go to Tupperware. Go to Aunt Cassie, maybe. And you can pull it. I like it better than a garlic press because it gets it finer and it's a lot easier to clean. I use this every day to make little carrots for my dog Bailey. So we want to get every bit that's on the lid. And you can see how nice and finely it chops the garlic. It's beautiful. Oh, it smells so good. I was thinking sometime I'd make this with roasted garlic, but it's wonderful with fresh. And Sharon uses a lot of dried spices when she does this, curry powder, garlic powder, Benson's. I just really like to use all fresh herbs rather than frozen. So you can see that by shredding the kale, this will actually now fit in the 6-quart, but if you're not going to shred the kale, you're going to need all the room. So all you do is you put the lid on, Sharon does hers at 0 minutes. I like 1 minute. I like it a little bit more well done. Whoops, that missed 5, so we'll just go down to 1. And then it'll say, well, it won't say, it'll beep to see if that's what I really wanted. Come on. Come on. You're driving me crazy. There we go. And make sure you have it on sealing, not on venting. So I'll let the pressure cooker do its magic. And as soon as it's done, I'll come back and I'll show you how I finish it and how I plate it. Well, it just beeped, which means it came up to pressure, so you want to release this right away. First, I'm going to unplug it because I don't want it to keep cooking, because I like my greens kind of verdant, kind of bright. So I like this cool little thing, diverts the pressure, gives me a high antioxidant facial. So what I'm going to do to finish it is I'm going to put some fresh herbs on it. I'm going to be using some fresh basil, about a cup. I just prefer fresh herbs to dried herbs. When you use fresh, you need about 3 times as much. So if a recipe were to call for 1 teaspoon of dried basil, you need a tablespoon. Since this is Sharon McCrae's recipe, I thought I'd use this wonderful gift she gave me. These are herb scissors. So if you don't have the greatest knife skills, this just makes beautiful chiffonade cuts. This is also from Trader Joe's, the organic basil or basil. So we're going to put that in. You don't want to cook with fresh herbs though. You want to put these in at the end. Now, one time I was making this recipe and I was out of fresh basil and I didn't really feel like going to the store. So once again, California balsamic to the rescue. This wonderful balsamic basil flavored vinegar. And it's not flavored, by the way. It really has fresh basil in it. It's one of the only companies I know that uses fresh herbs, not just the infusion. And any vinegar you like would be great. Just drizzle it over the top at the end, just to, preferably a good quality, thick, reduced balsamic. So that's coming down to pressure. I think these diverters come in there's like little faces. It looks like people are blowing off steam. Very cute. So pretty soon we'll be able to open this. And again, if you don't have a pressure cooker, get an electric one. If you already have the 6-quart, get the 8-quart. It's just so much easier to make large volumes of delicious, healthy food so that it will be the default. If healthy food is ready, you'll eat it. This is the Instant Pot, $10 off with my initials AJ at instantpot.com. The Melty also is a wonderful multi-pot, 8-quart, $10 off with AJ. You need a purchase of, I believe, $59.99, which would get you a pot. So now we can open this. Don't forget about these little hooks here so that you can put this here and you can see it cook down to almost nothing. Now, this is about 2 servings for my family. So, that's about 2 pounds, so 1 pound each. But if we're having company, we might do it as a side dish. You can see it really cooked down to almost nothing. It's as beautiful as it is delicious. The reason I call this Mediterranean kale, and again, if this is too well done for you, cook it for 0 minutes like Sharon does. And the only thing I would have done differently, but the artichoke hearts were frozen solid, was I probably would have cut them. And you know what? I still can, and I'll show you how using a different kind of scissors. You don't want to use those junk drawer scissors that you've used to trim your dog's whiskers. That wouldn't be so cool. So I'd like a whole cup of water because I do like having a little bit of the broth in there. And this will make a kale lover out of you yet. When I used to eat pizza back in the day, and I didn't eat cheese, I've always been allergic to dairy, but I did have a Mediterranean pizza that had sun-dried tomatoes and artichoke hearts and pine nuts. And so and garlic, of course, lots of garlic. So what I was trying to do was recreate this flavor. So let me show you another scissors that's pretty cool. And what you can do is you can take those big pieces of artichoke hearts and just slice them so that more people get artichoke hearts. I can even do this right now, even though it's hot. I should have done it before. But you can see it doesn't cook down to that much food. When people say, oh my God, how do you eat a pound of vegetables? Well, this is, let's see, 20 ounces plus 14 is, so this is 3, 4, and 3, so that's about 36. So that's about 2¼ pounds. I mean, I could eat this whole thing by myself. If for some reason you don't like vinegar, which is actually very good on here, you could just eat it like this. It's got plenty of flavor. Or you might want to try some of my faux parmesan on this, or the Enlightened Faux Parmesan. That would give it a little bit of a cheesy flavor. I'm not really doing nutritional yeast much these days because Dr. Goldhammer's not a fan. And if he's not a fan, then it's probably not something we should be eating. So there we go. And now I am going to stir in the fresh basil or basil, as much or as little as you like. Oh, the flavors, the smell, this is delicious. This is to live for. So Suzette, I hope you can make this in your dorm room, preferably if you go to a college that's near a Trader Joe's, because literally all the ingredients, Trader Joe's should be promoting this recipe because it's all their ingredients. I almost could use a third bag of kale, honestly, but you want everybody to have a little bit of sun-dried tomato and artichoke in their kale. Yeah, I think another bag might have been good, but there we go. Look at that. Beautiful, fragrant, make a kale lover out of you yet. And I'll probably get one of the California balsamics, one of the dark ones, and garnish it. So there you have it. Thank you so much, Sharon McRae, for your inspiration and all you do, and for this amazing, delicious recipe, Mediterranean kale. I hope you'll make it and try it and let me know what you think. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I'm Chef AJ, and I truly believe you can have both the health and the body you so richly deserve. Take care.